Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the celebration of the National Food Week in the region of Tajara. For the national scene in Europe, we confine service in the faces of pandemic COVID-19. Welcome to our newsroom. Also, as part of the celebrations of the World Food Day 2020, the Minister of Agriculture, Mohammed Ahmed Awale, accompanied strong delegations from his department, including the Acting Secretary of General of Ali Delwais and senior officials and his department visit yesterday in the region of Tajara to see the activities of fishing cooperative in the coastal zones of a model farms in Dulul, which is actively involved in food production capable of initiating the transitions to resilience and sustainable food systems. On their arrival, the ministerial delegation was welcomed by Mr. Baragoita Saeed and the regional Director Musa Muhammad Abdallah. The agro-pastoral farms in Dulul is a model of success in agro-pastoralism that combines agricultural activity with livestock breeding thanks to water security. The delegation has begun its visit with the Gubet Fishing Cooperative, which with the support of the Minister of Agriculture has launched a new sectors in the production of fish, where the population is exclusively focused on the except for the salt trade, in order to encourage these young fishermen to Paris, and Prodermo programs have realized it in ice cream factory unit by filtering sea waters with a production of 750 kilograms per day. The availability. The Minister of Agriculture, Mohammed Ahmed Awale, for its congratulate the Gubet fishermen whose the prejudice are able to catch the noble fish at Gubet, and first and officials of the Gubet Fishing Cooperative thank the Ministers of Agriculture for the support. The ministers, after visiting the production unit of Gubet ice cream for the benefit of fishermen, stressed that the Gubet fishermen have broken the prejudice and succeeded in catching the fish with the ice cream factory unit. They have the opportunity to strengthen their activity and improve their living conditions while participating in the march toward food security in our country. After the fishing cooperative of Gubet, delegations led by the Minister of Agriculture took the direction of Sagalu, a large village located on the road axis of Tajora, Djibouti, and the population, especially young people, are increasingly involved in fishing with a strong cooperative of about 20 young fishermen. The minister and his delegation were welcomed by the prefect of Tajora, Hassan Dabale Ahmed, and in the presence of the local elected officials. The population of Sagalu delegations was led by high-ranking of personalities, including the President of the Assembly, Muhammad Ali Muhammad, and Secretary of State for Decentralization, Hamadou Mohamed Aramis. After the reception, the minister and his delegation visit the new cold room that has been built to allow the fishermen of Sagalu to preserve their product before they are sent to the market of Tajora or to the capital. Installations of the court room is likely to facilitate the production activity in this sea of Sagalu, very taken by fishermen of other localities. Formerly, the population lived on livestock and palm trees, which had with the Ottoman times. Nowadays, the road offers opportunities to young people who are turning to fishing. The activity of trade combines with the explorations of date tree. The representative of the fishermen informing the ministers about the situations of fishing in Sagalu, specifying their difficulties in getting their product to the sales market. For his part, the President of the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Muhammad, congratulated the Minister of Agriculture for the multiple achievements in the localities. Project in lines with the needs of population, especially the young people who live to own. This information can solve the difficulties with the announcement of a refrigerated truck that will be made available to the Sagalu and Gubet Fishing Cooperative. This information has attracted fishermen who promised to get more involved in fishing activity to improve production, to improve their conditions of and their families participating in the food security of our country. For his part, the Minister of Agriculture, Mohammed Ahmed Awale, stressed that through implementation of programs and projects, the courtroom will allow Sagalu fishermen to preserve the catch of the day while waiting for the sale on the market. He said that the future is promising in the coastal plain. He asked those in charge to continue to support the young fishermen. As part of the President of the Republic relating the policy of the President of the Republic relating to the planting of trees through the Republic of Djibouti, the authority and law enforcement agencies decentralized services of Obok. The regions of Obok have begun since the beginning of this month tree planting activity by mutual agreement. The prefect of the region Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita and the President of the Regional Council Mohammed Muhammad Ismail have decided to conduct its activity during each month. This activity took place with the support and involvement of the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Fisheries in charge of fishery resources, but also with the particular commitment in its technical advisor, Mr. Ahmed Mohammed Ali. These activities are placed under the supervision of Mr. Ali Makki Mohammed, Deputy Prefect, who is fully committed to these challenges. The Prefect of the region, Mr. Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita, for his part thanked all the guests and he emphasized the importance of the tree planting day is a huge essential thing in human daily life. He hammered that these kinds of actions will be consequently managed every year. The Minister of Health, Mohammed Warsama Diriye, received in his office the regional directors of UNICEF, Mr. Ted Shaban, who is on a working visit in our country. The minister's meeting with the senior UN official was attended by the representative of UNICEF in Djibouti, Ms. Maeva Johnson, the Secretary General of Health, Dr. Maike Mohammed Musa, the Director of Health Promotions, Abdullahi Ayes Samo, the Director in charge of Mother and Child Health, and several others, Director of the Ministry. During the meeting, the Minister of Health, Mohammed Warsama Diriye, discussed the main areas of collaboration between UNICEF and Department of Health while outlining the global and national strategy for improving the integrated management of children's diseases. While thanking the Minister for the warm welcome extended to him, UNICEF Regional Director Ted Shaban affirmed that the availability of his UN agency to support the efforts of the government of Djibouti in promoting the health and well-being of children. Ms. Muna Osman Adel, Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity, received this morning in his department Mr. Ted Shaban, the Director of UNICEF Regional Offices, who was accompanied by UNICEF representative in Djibouti, Ms. Maeva Johnson. During this meeting, the Minister, surrounded by her staff, highlighted the programs and cross-cutting projects of her department, but also the main areas of collaboration between her department and UNICEF conduct in the Republic of Djibouti on actions in the areas of social protection, the strengthening of household reception structures, including social counters and social workers, were discussed during this meeting. The regional director said he was delighted with the collaborations of his department in supporting social and government actions in favor of vulnerable households. Under the chairmanship of the Honorable Kaltun Farah Saeed, the Commissioners of Legislation, General Administration and Human Rights met this Sunday, October 18th, to analyze the draft law number 96 EN 28L on political pluralism during electoral campaign and amending certain provisions of organic law number 1 EN 92 on elections, in addition to the presence of many non-members deputies. The session of the Commission was held mainly with the participation of the Minister of Communication in charge of postal communication, Radwan Abdullahi Bahdon. After a dialogue on issues related to the objectives of the proposed reform, the member of the Law Commissioners voted in favor of forwarding of mentions provision to the plenary for adoption with amendments. As part of the participation of the 2035 vision, those ambitions is to triple per capita income and reduce poverty. The National Networks of Development (RNDS) networks launched this morning the creations of the Solidarity Fund in Sheikh Musa neighborhood. In this context, the RNDS network has signed partnership agreement with the Mayor of Djibouti to promote its 3-star initiative composed of each neighborhood of Solidarity Fund and food bank and equipment office. Objective is to reduce poverty and also reduce unemployment through this Solidarity Fund. The population of the neighborhood Sheikh Musa, the poorest, will receive assistance to improve their living condition, the development of the neighborhood, and the development of their community. Present at this ceremony to launch the creations of the Solidarity Fund were parliamentarian members and the RNDS Network Committee, civil society from China and Rwanda, as well as the population of Sheikh Musa neighborhoods. Within the framework of the charitable activity, the Karma Karan Association is organized yesterday, Saturday, October, the Day of Solidarity, for the benefit of the inhabitants of Galafi, a border village located on the Djibouti-Ethiopian corridor, 108 kilometers from the Dikil region's locality of Yoboki. This Day of Solidarity is a manifesto for the distributions and delivery of donations of materials consisting of sanitary products against COVID-19 and seasonal flu, distribution of mosquito nets against malaria and vectoral disease, as well as sports equipment, in addition to relieve the families in their expense. In this new school year, an important batch of school supplies kits for school children were handed over by Mr. Ali Hilaf Muhammad, President of Karma Karan Association, and to Hilaf Muhammad Ahmed, and elders of the locality of Galafi. We regret to announce the death that of Sanalasi Abdullah Ali, died Thursday evenings in Galina at age 19 years. He leaves behind him 4 children and 15 grandchildren and 11 grandchildren. The deceased was the father of Muhammad Sanalasi, advisor by the Menfop. We pray to God to welcome him in his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It is with great sadness that we learned the death of Ibrahim Umar Diriye, who died in Ethiopia at Dirdawa. The deceased leaves behind him 8 children and 2 widows. The late Ibrahim Umar Diriye was the paternal cousin of Honorable Member Abdul Sikiye Diriye, Member of Parliament for the Al-Sabih region, the Prefect of the region Musa Adam Migane, the President of the Regional Council Umar Ahmed Wa'ais, the parliamentarian and of the regions, as well as the elders of the Asajok city, addressed their most saddened condolence to the member of the family of the deceased, more precisely to the Member of Parliament Abdul Sikiye Diriye. For the international scene, COVID-19 in Europe reconfines itself in the face of pandemic. The new coronavirus infections in the world exceeded 400,000 on Friday, a daily record that comes at times when Europe is reinforcing its restrictive measures in the face of a new epidemic wave. In recent weeks, the European continent has become the epicenter of COVID-19 pandemic with an average of 140,000 new cases per day. As a whole, Europe is registering more new infections every day than India, Brazil, and United States combined. Out of every 100 infections worldwide, 34 occurs in European countries. Europe currently reports approximately 1 million new infections every 9 days and has recorded more than 6.3 million cases since the beginning of the pandemic. During the week of October 18, the major European countries, the United Kingdom, France, Russia, Netherlands, and Spain, accounted for nearly half of the new cases in Europe. France is the European countries with the highest 7-day average of new cases, averaging 19,000 infections per day, followed by the United Kingdom, Russia, Spain, and Netherlands in the most affected European countries. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.